What average day object would you want to use to kill someone, and how would you do it?
My dad always told me to first try and talk your way out of any kind of sticky situation. And then if things get dicey and you don't know what to do, just go straight for the nuts.
Awesome, guys. Great take. Cut. At Red Giant, we make films to show off our software, but also to stretch ourselves as storytellers and craftsmen. Now, Go Bag is the 8th film we've made at Red Giant, and we say this every time, but this one was definitely our most ambitious to date. The idea for Go Bag was born from a text message I got one day from my dad that said, "You know what would be great television?
Take Jack Bauer from 24 and Constable Bob from Justified, put them in a show together so they can talk about their go bags. I'd watch it. Anyways, love you, Dad."
So obviously, this idea is pure gold. But it also got me thinking about the idea of go bags and having everything you need in the event of an emergency in one bag. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny to do a short where the hero grabbed their go bag and at some point they accidentally switched bags with some normal boring dude. So then you had to watch our hero fight their way through escalating categories of danger and bad guys using the contents of some random guy's carry-on bag. We shot the film in a parking garage in downtown Nashville. Knowing it would be extremely complicated logistically to film in an actual airport with our budget, we set it in an airport parking garage. Then we could add planes and airport elements to various shots in post to establish the setting, which we did using a combination of stock footage from Resolve.com and in one case a 3D model animated in Element 3D.
The majority of the film was shot on the Area Mira, which is owned by our DIT John Huber. Rentacamera.com gave us a great deal on an Alexa Mini, so we used that for a lot of the car rig shots and shots with our Ronin.
I'm Cammie. I play Rabbit, which is her code name.
Cammie did all of her own stunts, including beating the living crap out of 2 guys in a stairwell, lots of running, jumping, and bludgeoning.
There's been a lot of stunts on this. Seth wanted some things, some shots that were questionable, but with his knowledge and what he can do in post and what I can bring to the set, I think it's going to be a beautiful piece of work.
Jeff used a lot of simple, cool tricks to keep everything safe and awesome. For example, whenever she smashes the door against anyone's arm, we had a 2x4 in the door frame to keep it from shutting all the way.
The fight scene in the stairwell is probably the most fun we had on set. Watching it on camera, it really felt real.
Sound design was going to be really important in the scene, so our sound recordist Ron actually hid lapel mics all over the set to capture the action from several different places. Syncing all these different audio sources in post with our video was almost effortless, with Pluralize, which is great for syncing video and audio in seconds. Then in addition to that, we enhanced the sound using sound effects from soundsnap.com, as well as some sounds from Triune's awesome fighting sound effects pack. The guns were all airsoft, which we visually enhanced in post using Trapcode Particular to create custom muzzle flashes, which is super easy with the unbelievably cool new effects builder. Putting her on the car is pretty terrifying.
The car chasing up the spiral, going from bottom to top, top to bottom, spiraling down at the fastest we could possibly go.
They had straps under the wheels and around my waist, and I had to hang on for dear life, but I was strapped on pretty well, so half the time I rode around like this.
We knew that for this scene to work, it needed to be accomplished using more than just one visual effects trick. Having some shots be green screen, having some shots with the car rig, and so on. With Cammie rigged to the car, we got coverage from 4 primary angles. We mounted our B camera to the car. I'm just gonna be looking right here and see it just disappear in a second. Oh God, how close are we? Then Chris sat in the car with the A camera looking through the windshield.
It's taking so long.
Then we shot out the back of a second car driving in front of them. Then we took that second car, put it on the opposite side of the ramp, put a long lens on the camera, and did our absolute best to keep Cammie in the car in frame. Good, struggle.
I'm struggling.
Action! The whole time, Cammie and I had walkies so she could hear me shouting weird things. Gold bond! Gold bond! Gold bond! In all these shots, the safety harness was clearly visible, so Harry Frank worked his magical wonders to paint it out in post. Finally, we had a handful of shots we filmed in front of a green screen using a leaf blower to simulate wind. Then in post, using Red Giant Keying Suite, I was able to composite these shots basically in my sleep.
I just beat up our stunt guy Jeff with a sock full of batteries.
Jeff had the genius idea to fill a stunt sock with Nerf darts.
Which ones? Are the real ones?
So with this, Cammie could actually smack Jeff in the head without actually hurting him. And she could do it like a number of times, which she did because we're animals. 3, 2, 1, action! The helicopter was handled by our friend David Coulter, who is the same man who blew up all those cars in Spy vs. Guy. While what we were simulating was theoretically possible, we had to create the effect artificially, adding the spark and wrapper light in post, then lighting the journal on fire with a lighter Jeff held at the bottom of frame. For the torch shots, we just filmed with the journal rolled up, and we added the fire in post, obviously, because safety. Having Cammy actually be under the car while it was moving just wasn't an option. We shot Cammy and the car separately, with Cammy totally committing to the role, performing what had to feel absolutely ridiculous. We managed to blend the shots together in post by rotoing out Cammy, stabilizing her, and then match moving her to the car. Then blending her into the shot using tools like Color Matcher from Red Giant Keying Suite and Magic Bullet Colorista 3, the final product came out pretty convincing. Let's talk about our amazing end titles. Created by Territory Studio, known for their amazing design and motion graphics work on films like The Avengers Age of Ultron and The Martian, they came on board early on to create our insanely cool end title sequence.
Trapcode Suite is definitely one of our go-to tools when we're working on blockbuster films. For the Go Bag titles, we used the new plugin DAO to create some crazy 3D fractal shapes that we then use to drive some glitch transitions that appear throughout the entire sequence. As well as that, we use Trapcode Form. It's really good for importing OBJs that you make in Cinema 4D. We basically model some assets in Cinema, pull them into Form, and then you can turn that object into points. So it's really cool for that.
So if it wasn't enough that we got to work with Territory Studio, we also had several other amazing collaborators on Go Bag. For example, the first item that Rabbit weaponizes in the film is Joey Eltz's amazing comic book, Leaky Timbers. We've been huge fans of Joey's work for a while, and felt this was the appropriate time for it to bring someone bodily harm. We were also really lucky to have the folks at Bomber & Company provide us 2 of their bomber barrel bags to use in the film. I am a huge fan of this bag. I have one personally and I love it, and I think it's the perfect bag to give to a badass character. Like me.
This shot, cutting to the bright sun earlier.
I graded the whole film in Magic Bullet looks, using the built-in 4-way grading tool and the hue controls to subtly narrow down the color palette and bring out the amazing vibrance of our images. Thank you for watching this behind-the-scenes look at our new film, Go Bag. Make sure you subscribe to the Red Giant Films page to keep up to date on all of our projects, and check out some of our previous films. If you want to learn more about filmmaking and visual effects, check out redgiant.com/films.